great cameos join us for the film, including Lee Merriweather, Shirley Jones, Sally Struthers, and Christopher Adkins. So we're really excited to be here at the Irvine International Film Festival.
The music for Waiting in the Wings, I think there's about 10 or 12 songs, and all different composers. There's a few composers from New York City who Jeffrey found their music. Ari, one of the actors in the movie, wrote First American Musical. He wrote a bunch of songs, but it's of various composers. My first lead in a feature film. I've had smaller roles in Coyote Ugly and other movies like that, and I'm on TV, but this was my first lead in a feature. Yeah, I did Les Mis on Broadway. I've toured with Fiddler and Les Mis and Beauty and the Beast, and a ton of. I come from the musical world, so getting to do musicals, a musical on film was just the best of both worlds. It was pretty awesome. Thank you. Thanks so much.
I believe you can change the world. I made this movie as my small, infinitesimally small attempt to try to change the world, and and the story structure in the film is my subtle hint to the viewer to share that belief with me. So it starts as a very small domestic drama, a man and his wife, his best friend, a small group of people in a garage, and it's a very small, intimate story. And then the stakes keep growing and building till by the end it's a full-blown thriller and the world hangs in the black balance, literally. So yeah, in some ways, as far as the performance is evolving like that, I really wanted each character from the beginning to the end to be unrecognizable in a way for them to really go through an arc. I don't know if you guys want to talk at all about your processes.
Yeah, Artie, go ahead. Artie's gonna talk.
Thank you for coming. Yeah, I think it was a neat experience in the sense that we did all grow as a cast. Our first day on set, the production was behind by several hours, so we showed up and just sat there for 4 or 5 hours probably, and got to know each other really well. And I think that helped when we did get to set and just jump right into it and go. And it just, the world Alec created, Blake, everybody that worked, just really made it easy for us. There wasn't much we had to imagine. It was all there in person. And I think that helped tremendously too.
I want to say something actually. And also I feel like the script was so amazing that it was easy to bring characters to life. It wasn't challenging at all. And clearly you're an amazing director. He really kind of caressed us, I feel like, as actors, and without without saying, hey, do this, he explained it in a way that, resonated, and you just got it and knew what he wanted.
I've done mostly horror films in the past, so this is my first, I feel like, real, no offense to horror, meaty role. But for me personally, it was about 2 months of filming. It's Los Angeles, there was a day in DC, and then there was about 10 days in Cambodia.
It's the first time I made a feature film, so I went with the Ari Alexa, and we spent a considerable amount of time in post-production, thanks to Hollywood DI, one of the best places to go to get the look of film. But shooting film, I was insisting to the end that we shoot the movie in 35mm film. So was our DP, one of the better ones in town, Matt Irvine in LA. However, the logistics of where we were in such a remote area. There's only one film lab in the state of Washington, and going back and forth every day, we were on such a tight shooting schedule that there was a problem, something with the camera. You have a dent in the camera, the light gets in, you have film fog, or you have problems with the film, someone doesn't check the gate. We had no days to spare to reshoot, so begrudgingly I gave in and shot it on digital. I'm happy with the look, but I can tell you in any future film I make, I will use 35mm film.
Just perfect.
Yeah, that was courtesy, if I can give a plug, to the Skywalker Ranch up near Sausalito. They did the audio. We were there for 10 days. Did incredible work. So we set aside the money for post-production so we could have a polished product to show in festivals like this. And
Yes, this is my feature directorial debut.
It's Chasing Yesterday.
Yes, Chasing Yesterday.
And the movie is all about
So the movie, Courtney, who's one of the producers and the star of it, she's our female lead. It's about a one-time hometown hero, track star, who kind of fell off the path and met a girl who got his life back on track. And Courtney plays Jenny.
Yeah, she's a little rough, but you like her at the end of it. In the beginning, you're like, what is up with this girl? She's got an attitude problem, but eventually you'll get used to her.
And it was filmed in New York.
We filmed this all in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yes, 100% of the film was shot in Monmouth County, New Jersey. We filmed for 17 days.
A very brutal 17 days, and we had a lot of our actors mostly came from New York. We had some crew members from Philadelphia, New York, also from New Jersey, so it was great. A lot of people came together. It was definitely a labor of love, and we're just really excited to have it all together and to be here, and proud to be here.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, this was their first feature film. If it wasn't their first feature film in front of the camera, it's the first feature film behind the camera. No one, well, maybe one or two people are over the age of 30. We're all under 30.
We're a pretty young group. Yeah. So I produced a couple features before this, but less involved. And this was really cool because Joe approached me, and we'd known each other for a number of years, but he approached me with the idea of the film. So I really got to be there with him throughout the writing process and the casting process and finding our funding and putting a crew together and finding our location. So it was really cool. We really got to be very invested in every aspect of the film. So it was a very unique experience for me. It's our little baby.
Yeah, we put it together quick in the sense of compared to other films. I mean, from pen to paper, started January of 2013. We filmed October 2013, and we had our cut done in 2014.
Yeah, I remember just going out, and it was when he was telling me first about the idea for the film. This was in January 2013. He's like, yeah, so we're going to shoot in October. And I was like, okay. Did not believe him at all. And eventually, as time went on and we stayed on track, I was like, oh my gosh, we're actually going to get this done in time. So it was really exciting. We made some goals, and we set them and accomplished them.
And with independent films, it's one of those things where you just have to do it. There's no studio holding you back, and it's just finding the right people. And we just found a great group of people that just wanted to keep pushing it forward, and we just got it done.
Super, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We started going to Berlin about 10 years ago. Our biggest challenge, as you could probably imagine, was shooting in the middle of Berlin, finding two unrenovated buildings across the street from one another with two ground floor apartments that we could use. So that was really our biggest challenge. And we spent about a month looking, trying to find a location, and then these two. We had one of the buildings. We had her apartment, but we didn't have access to the building across the street. There was a tenant in that apartment up until 4 days before we started shooting, and for whatever reason, that tenant moved out. The owner of the unit, which was his apartment, totally, painted the place. They were getting ready for somebody else to move in, and Philippe basically begged and pleaded for them to let us use this apartment. And we had a really fantastic set designer who came from the theater, who was used to working for no money under really strict time limits. And she went in there with a crew of 3 other people and turned it into what became his apartment, which meant creating a space that looked like someone had lived in there their entire life.
Basically, I shot this movie twice. I guess grandfather actor first time, and then I shot this movie only 3.5 days. So it's we did it very quick. After shooting 2 days, first time, he got sick. He was a very old, actor. I tried to choose a really inexperienced and old actor, and he was a good actor, but the last day he couldn't do it anymore.